This city doesn't hand out respect. It watches. It waits. Then, when you've proven it, it remembers your name. And once it does, you don't need to talk loud. You just take your seat back here and tell the truth.
So I'm super excited about today's Backseat Ballers. I don't know how much backseat action there's, well, that could sound bad, but we're gonna leave that in there. Action there's gonna be going on today, but this is a longtime friend of mine. How long have we known each other?
Since I was probably 12.
12?
And I'm 43.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm 49 as of last weekend.
Yeah.
So Melissa Morris with Savannah. She breeds exotic cats, specifically servals.
Well, servals are a hybrid form. The servals are the dad of the Savannahs, so they're the hybrid.
Okay, so they're called Savannahs.
Savannah cats.
And they come from the serval.
Correct.
Okay, and she has grown this. I remember when you're in your old neighborhood and we're having problems with like the city and like the rules around having these cats, right?
Yep.
To what she has built today, which is a pretty incredible operation. So first, we're gonna actually spend a little bit more time than normal with some show and tell. And then we're gonna get into the normal part of what we do on the show. So I'm gonna let you take it away and walk us through.
We'll go first inside the main house, and then we'll introduce the Swazi first.
You're gonna get to see some cats.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, this is where all the cat magic happens. Ooh, what is this? You wanna come say hi?
She at least matches his coat.
Come on. Come and see it.
Yeah, how old will he be when you start to breed him?
Servals are usually later producers, so like typically at least 12 months or older. Cairo was 21 months when he started to breed, so in the wild, servals typically reach maturity around 2 or 3 years of age, so they're slower to get started. Go get it.
And how did you get this idea? Like how did you hear about him, find out about him?
So it was actually his fault. So when I was younger, my kids were 2, 4, 6, and 8. Oh, you want to eat it? And I was done having kids, but I wanted more kids, and I knew I didn't want to have more children because they grow up to be people, and but I wanted more babies. So anyway, I looked at getting like a pet. I looked at a Bengal cat, just didn't do it for me. And then
it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, right? Because I always wanted like a cheetah or a lion or tiger. Oh, what do you see? Oh, you see her? She's got a camera. And so anyway, Mike and my son Cole were watching YouTube videos. They were watching cool cat videos, and they found the serval video that led to the Savannah video. And they were like, oh, come check out this breed of cat. And so they called me over. I looked at it. I'm like, what? You can have a miniature cheetah in your house and it's legal and obtainable. I'm like, sign me up. I got to have this. And so I was like, I wanted to breed right away just because I love babies and I love animals. And I'm like, I could have baby animals and I could have a cheetah baby animal. It was I was like, this is my dream come true. And then we found out how much they cost. And then my husband's like, get a job. And of course, I was a stay-at-home mom, so I was like, what do I do? I mean, I was a freelance photographer, but that was just play money. And so then I decided that I was going to get, he wanted me to get one as a pet first. So I bought one as a pet.
Okay.
So
you're allowed upstairs?
He can go upstairs. Yeah. So I got one as a pet, and then because he wanted me to make sure I knew what I was getting into. And after about 2 weeks of having, or not even a week, it was like 5 days of having the F2 in my home, he's like, okay, no big deal. They're not scary. They're not aggressive. You can do this and I'll back you up. And so we were the family that went negative every month because we had no money, no savings. We would spend more than we made.
Yeah, like every other
person.
American.
Yes. And so it was one of those things where like, and again, the kids were 2, 4, 6, and 8. Everyone's like, you guys have no money. You have a family that's growing. Don't do this. But I was like, when there's a will, there's a way.
Of course.
And a supportive spouse.
Yeah.
We took out $60,000 loan on our house, a HELOC.
Oh, wow.
Yep. and dropped it into 3 F1s, which are the first offspring from the wild, and a stud, and everyone thought we were crazy, which we were. So this one is a 3-week-old HP F1. So she is about 80% serval. So her dad is an African serval, and then her mom is an F1 Savannah. So to get a normal F1, they usually use like a F6, F7 Savannah, and then your regular F1s are like about 60% serval.
Okay.
But this one is a more rare version because her mom is an F1 back to the serval, making her more wild than domestic. So she'll be a big cat when she's older.
And do these, and you said F1, and there's a
HP is the high percentage.
Oh, that's what HP
That's what
stands for. So she's an HP F1.
Correct.
Those sell for like 25,000?
25 to 27. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy to think I'm holding
I know.
$27,000.
I know. Friends are like, do they do the dishes and the laundry too?
No, we do.
But let me see if I can grab the mom. I'll show you what a regular F1. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me grab. Hi, Mama.
Yeah.
Come here.
Oh, there you go. That's cute.
And then these ones here, these are F2s. So
Okay.
these are her babies. So these are 2 generations removed from the wild. Aren't they so cute?
They are.
So you can tell the difference between these versus
Oh,
the other
yeah.
one. And these guys are born just a couple days apart from the other one.
And
And
they're so much smaller.
so much smaller, not as prominent of markings. And they kind of more
these are
meow.
F2s?
F2s.
Okay.
Oh, we hear you. It's okay. But look at the different colors, even though they're like siblings.
Yeah, and so what are the colors? There's golden, there's silver, there's...
Pretty much gold and silver. There's like this one's called a warm BST. This one's kind of a cool, although she's still warm. Sometimes they have a cool coat where they can be more grayish tan. They're both more.
And is there one color more desirable by people over the other?
I mean, I think popularity is more the yellow gold just because it's more like the serval, but a lot of people like the silvers, which I do have a few silvers. These guys are so cute. They're so talkative. Let's go back to mommy. Okay. Yeah. And then just briefly, you can kind of take a peek over here.
Oh, yeah. So you were just in the, what do you call it?
So I was in the
room?
birthing room where the moms
Birthing
give
room.
birth to babies.
And
raise
this is
their
like where the
babies.
teenagers hang out?
Yes. So once the babies are done nursing with their mom, I take the mom and I put the babies in here where they have the kiddie playland. And right now I've got some F6s that are taking a nap on their little
I
tree.
love how they're all clustered up together.
Yeah, and these ones are silvers. So, and I just pulled them from their mom like just a few days ago. So they're still acclimating to people. Like they kind of go through a phase where they're a little nervous because like, where's mom? But normally they get over it about a week into it. And then they're like running to the door and all that. It's really cute. Okay, so we've got the cat house. And then this is the king over here. He's on his throne. And this is Cairo. And he will, Cairo, do you want a guinea pig? So when I open this up, no, not yet. Take your hat off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the servals are weird about the hats.
No, I'll just put it somewhere.
But he'll come down because he knows what I'm getting into.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on, baby.
Look-
Hold on.
look
Hold
at
on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Cairo, sit. Sit. Good boy. Oh, wait. Good boy. Good boy. And he normally takes it like I just caught this.
Yeah.
And he'll go outside with it.
Yeah.
He's so
Oh, we gotta go watch.
Yeah,
We go
so
watch
let's-
him eat?
Yeah, let's go watch him eat.
All right.
So, yeah, we'll go out. And they all have their own runs that they can go outside whenever they want, and it's heated and cooled. And all right,
Free range.
yeah,
You want that?
yeah, we'll close it because the AC. Yeah, yeah. Come on out before we let the bugs in, and then we'll come back in and chat. We don't want to get all that AC out because it's hot today. Okay, I think he probably went in his tunnel. Did you go in your tunnel, buddy? Oh, you eating your guinea pig in there?
Look at this.
Do you hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he loves his guinea pig.
Run it.
And it's funny because they'll eat everything, but they'll leave the intestine because they know it's full
of shit.
Literally. Yep. And they know.
Can you see it there?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, once he's done eating that, we can pet him. He's actually one that will rub on you, and I should have waited to feed him because now he's going to be distracted. But
All right.
it's okay.
He doesn't want us to watch him eating.
Yeah, because he thinks we're going to take it. But then all the kitties have their own runs out here that, 15 foots, and they can come in and out whenever they want.
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular.
So they have enough exercise and...
I would think he'd still be eating.
Yeah. Cairo, you still eating your snacks? He's like, heck yeah. He has his routine where he makes his squares and walks around, and then he has his nap.
There's a patrol.
Yeah, and then he comes back and he has his... Even in the winter, there'll be snow on the ground. He still does his.
And is this just so things can't get up against the fence, that space between them?
Exactly. So the secondary fence is more for protection for them. If there was ever like a stray cat or coyote or a dog or even people that they can't interact with each other.
Gotcha.
There he is. And
there he is. He's out.
Hi, Cairo. I see you. And then also it does create a safe place. If they were to get out of their enclosure, then it catches them in the secondary enclosure.
Gotcha.
And so...
All right, so we had a really good question, I thought, from Rhonda. How do you ever get away from this? Like, how do you ever go on vacation, take a break? Like, it seems impossible from... Like, as Ron said, you're running a kitty cat NICU.
Yes.
Like, 24/7. Like, this is more insane than any job I've ever heard of.
Yes, thank you, and I agree. So in years past, it was literally impossible to leave because nobody knew how to care for the cats the way I did, so I couldn't leave. And even if I didn't have babies at the time, and I just had the adults, I would try to get my parents to come watch. Forget about it. They would call me like 18 times a day, and I would even leave actual videos of me walking into each cat's room with their food and their name and showing them what to do, and they would still call and ask a million questions.
Yeah, my mom's left my kids in the car and lost them at Walmart, so there's no way they could be over here.
Yeah. So thankfully, my friend Carla, who I met at church, she's a huge animal lover, particularly a cat lover. She actually started working for me about 5 years ago. And she comes to the cat house about 5 days a week to clean the enclosures, play with the cats, make sure everything's tidy, and kind of be a second set of eyes for me. So that now when I do go on vacation, I can leave without too much stress because she knows the routine, she knows the cats. Although it's still one of those things where I'm constantly checking in, and I have cameras on all my cats that I am watching. Even if I'm on a cruise ship, I check in and look at them all because there's things I'll notice that she may not know to look for because she's not the expert in the cat.
And you can pick that up over a camera.
I can pick it up over the cameras, absolutely, because I'll watch the baby movement and I'll be like, that one hasn't moved as much as the other ones. Maybe see if it's dehydrated, check its weight, has it lost weight? And sure enough, that one hadn't nursed as much. And so there's things like that.
And then they're dehydrated. You mentioned something earlier before we lost footage.
Mm-hmm.
You do something when they're dehydrated I didn't even wrap my head around.
Sub-Q fluids.
Sub-Q fluids.
Yeah, so I have like that saline drip that I keep on hand, and that I put it in under the skin and rehydrate. It's like electrolytes and a bunch of other stuff.
I won't tell you where they used to stick the IVs for us when we were dehydrated overseas.
That sounds scary, but
it was.
So I do that, and then I have to tube feed them if they're too weak to like try to bottle feed, But yeah, so it's still scary to leave, especially if I have babies, because there's things that she may not know to look for. Like I was mentioning earlier, like if it's newborns and their eyes are still closed, the mom is constantly licking their faces and cleaning them. And the moms have bacteria in their mouth, and a lot of that bacteria can get in underneath the closed eye and can develop an infection, and their eye can blow up with like pus. Yeah. And if you don't clean it out soon enough, they could lose the eye. And so there's things like that if you're just picking them up and looking at them, you're not going to notice because you don't know to look for it. Whereas for me, I notice every detail. I'll notice if, one mom decides it's going to start chewing the fingers or chewing around the ears, like you feel little scabs. And so you constantly have to be hands-on with the babies because they either, like I was mentioning earlier, I have an F2 that I'm bottle feeding right now because he doesn't have a strong latch like the others. So he was gradually losing weight, but then I started supplementing him even though he's with his mom, and now he's doing great. So, but if you just left them and didn't weigh them or check in on them, he for sure would die.
Yeah. So you had mentioned earlier as well off camera, something that just totally, I don't know why. It's like one of those things when you hear it, it's like, oh, holy cow, right? And that's that it's the domestic cat that is carrying the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And Savannah carries,
The serval.
not a Savannah, serval carries for 2 weeks longer than a domestic.
Mm-hmm.
So when the domestic has these babies, they're very, very susceptible and fragile and require an immense amount of care.
Oh my gosh, so much so. Yeah. That like, because pretty much almost all F1s are born premature.
Because the domestic can't carry them to term.
Exactly. And so with that being said, the F1s are often so weak that, we have to take turns sitting on the floor, holding the babies up to the mom to help them stay latched on because they'll get so tired they'll fall asleep. And then the mom will also try to do her job and lick them. And as soon as they get hooked up, she'll lick them and knock them off. And then they have to re-latch on. And so we have to sit there on the floor with the mom and babies and kind of keep her from licking so that they can stay nursing. And we take shifts, like we'll take 2-hour shifts all throughout the night for the first 3 days between my husband.
Every hour, right? So you're saying every hour?
Yeah. Well, so prior to them being birthed, my husband and I take hour shifts checking cameras just to make sure we're there for the delivery.
Yeah.
Then once the babies are born, we actually are in the birthing room 24/7 for about 3 days because the moms, some of the moms aren't the best and they'll stand up and reposition and plop on a baby and that baby can't get out from underneath her. Or she'll just continually lick so much that the babies can't nurse because she's knocking them off. So we have to supervise and help make sure that they're gaining. And so between Mike and my 3 girls, we'll take 2-hour shifts sitting with the babies so that they have 24-hour care. And it's gruelingly painful, especially at night when you're like, it's 2 a.m. and you just want to go to sleep and you're bored of sitting Indian style for hours on end.
Yeah. But this whole time, I just thought you kept Mike around grill shirtless outdoors during the summertime.
I do that too.
And so this is for both of you. This for 5 years now. This has been what you and not just the two of you, but your whole family does.
Yeah,
right?
the whole family. Yeah. So you were asking how the kids gotten started. So about so I started. The kids were 2, 4, 6, and 8. Probably a year later. So the kids were like 3. Whatever, can't do the math right now. They were still very young. My husband and I were going on a trip to Switzerland and we were gone for 3 weeks. And my parents were going to watch our children and they're like, we're going to watch your kids, but we will not watch the cats. They didn't want that responsibility. And so I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? So we decided we're going to train the kids how to take care of the cats. And then my parents can take care of the kids.
So the kids will take care
So
of
about a month before we left for
flows
Switzerland, we spent every day working with the kids, having them feed, having them do litter, how to, watch the doors so the cats don't get out because they were young still. I mean, they were, 10, 11.
I feel like your kids got the bougiest farm work.
It is like cattle farm.
It's like no, I mean, it's literally like a farm, only like the bougiest version of that imaginable.
Yeah. So anyway, we were gone for 3 weeks, which was a long time. And, but they managed to do a great job. And my parents, took care of the kids and the kids took care of the cats and everybody was alive when we got home. And we're like, hey, you guys are very capable, even though they were literally like 3 and 5 and 7 and 9. And I mean, that's really young, right?
Oh, yeah.
But they all managed to do a great job. And of course, they were excited to have that responsibility because they got rewarded as well. Like we bought them some cool stuff while we were gone. And but anyway, ever since then, we're like, well, hey, you know how to help. So then they've just had cat chores their whole life. So they wake up before school, do all the litter, do all the food. And in fact, in our house, we have a rule that if you're watching TV, you have to have a kitten in your lap. And if not, you're grounded.
Wow.
Yeah. So that way the kittens are always getting socialized.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have to spend at least 20 minutes in the playland at least once a day, all 3 girls. So they're rotating shifts. But then if they want to watch TV, then they have to do it with a kitten on their lap.
So while this might be a stretch in my mind, I think, and you might not have noticed maybe, so this might be a dumb question, but now Cole is on his mission for the LDS Church out in Orem, Utah, 19 years old.
Yep.
How old was he? So you started this 11 years ago.
Yeah. So he was 8. 8
years old.
Yeah.
So from the time he was 8 till now, you guys have been running literally like a 24/7 NICU kitty program.
Yeah.
Has any of that, because I would imagine that's created like a pretty incredible work ethic.
Oh gosh, for sure.
The early mornings, because not just early mornings for the cats, but right, 4 years of seminary. Did you do seminary?
Yep, he did seminary. Yep.
What time was that?
6 o'clock to 7 o'clock.
So he's left the house and at the church building at 6. So was he up doing cat chores before 6?
Yep.
That is, I mean, think of how few kids, especially in this area,
Oh yeah.
have that level of responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Right? I just can't help but think that's translated over to some stuff.
He is a phenomenal missionary right now.
I
He
bet.
loves it. He's having so much success and tons of miracles, and he definitely is a hard worker. So
That's cool. That is super cool.
I'm sure that being a hard worker at home has
Yeah.
helped pay off. And part of
Yeah.
that hard working was pulling weeds here. And now all 4 of them hated pulling weeds. But it's so funny because he called home the other day because he calls on Monday, and he's like, "This week we did service and we were pulling weeds for this lady." And he's like, "You know what? I actually enjoyed it." And then he was starting to tell
It's
us
different when you're not doing it for yourself or your parents.
And he's like, "Girls, next time mom has you pull weeds, just tell yourself that you're cleaning the Lord's earth and that you have a different mindset and that it's not as boring than just like, oh, another chore to do."
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I would think a lot of people look at kids that get to grow up in an environment like this,
Yeah.
and they make a bunch of assumptions about it,
Oh, right.
right?
Mhm.
Never knowing that you guys are up all hours. I mean, because how many months out of the year do you not have kitties being born?
It's pretty much year round.
Yeah, so year round,
Yeah.
you guys are working 24 hours a day almost.
Always. Yep.
Not just you guys, but your kids as well.
Yep.
And for the last 5 years, it's been what both you and Mike do
Mm-hmm.
to provide for your family.
Yep.
That's just phenomenal to me. It's amazing. That
Well,
blows my mind.
it's a labor of love, to be honest, because like if you don't love what you do, it will not be successful.
Well,
and
especially something that requires this level of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's a level of work that comes with few things.
Yeah.
Like what you're reminding me of the military. It's like when you go to selection, they have this bulletin board, and you have to check it every 15 minutes, 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they do that on purpose to sleep deprive you, right? But you guys are literally being sleep deprived, but you're choosing to.
Oh,
Nobody's
gosh.
forcing you to do it. You
Yes.
have to get up.
It's
and check
so
a cat.
brutal. There's like, we were 3 weeks ago when we had the F1 letter that didn't make it. We were like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can physically make myself get out of bed. It was like so hard because you're just exhausted. Like you're just.
All right, so another weird segue. Do you guys feel like, because I know you guys are really into physical fitness. I know Mike always has. I don't know if you always have.
Oh,
You
yeah.
look like you always have.
Yeah.
So is it hard to like, I know there's days at work where I just don't feel like working out.
Yeah.
But do you feel like that's helped you with dealing with this work schedule? Because it seems like a crazy work schedule.
1,000,000% yes. 1,000,000% yes. Like in fact, ask him, I'm grumpy if I don't work out. Like I wake up, I do my seminary with the kids, they go to school, I go to the gym. And even if I'm up birthing all night, like I will still go to the gym and then come home and take a nap if I need to.
And when you say go to the gym, you don't mean the one in your house, you mean you go somewhere.
Yeah, so I have a good one in my basement, but I force myself to go to the gym for 2 reasons. One, I like to do the classes that are there. And 2, it gets me out of the house because I'm here 24/7 and that kind of just changes the scenery. And 3, if I wish to stay here, I wake up and I start cat stuff immediately. And if I would never get a workout in because I'd be like, oh, I'm bottle feeding this one and I got to check on this one. I got to take photos.
The cat thing
It's
seems
endless. It's endless. There's always cat stuff to be done. And so then like I'll do the basics in the morning, like feeding and bottle feed. And then I'll go to the gym, take my hour for just me, do my workout, come home, and then cat stuff and projects and the rest of the day pretty much. But yeah, if I don't get that workout in, I'm kind of a grump because I didn't take that time for me. Plus, like it relieves endorphins and it makes you feel better and it gets the energy going. Like it's the kinetic motion. Once the motion stays in motion. And so I just go all day long.
Right.
Yeah. So it helps for sure.
Sweet.
Well, hello. I saw that, but I'm like, you know what? I already got a cat hair all over me, so it's all good.
All right. Well.
You might have to do another. Scary.
I'm not concerned about that man.
All right. So like I said, normally I don't spend quite as much time getting into the business end of it, but I just thought you have such a unique business
Yes.
that it was worth doing.
Thank you.
And so really now what I'd really like to kind of talk about is what your journey's been like, right?
Yes.
Going back to, you said 2014, 2013?
2014, yep.
Well, I try to figure out how to get my phone to CarPlay here. So in 2014, we talked a little bit about it already. You
To the right.
to the right.
Yep.
Thank you. Don't want me to
I'm
go-
a backseat driver too, and a baller.
Yeah, backseat driver and baller.
I'm both.
That's right. That's right. So you started off. You got well. How long have you been married at that point?
To Mike, let's see, how long have we been married?
To Mike, is there another
To
one?
Mike, I know, no, there's not. Well, the reason I ask is Mike and I have been best friends since we were 12. So we have been together way longer than we've actually been married. And so
That's awesome.
Yeah, so then I'm like having to think back when we actually got married. But we had been married probably 10 years. If Cole, yeah, 9 years. We'd been married 9 years.
You had
Cole was
3
8.
kids. They were all
4.
under the age of 8.
4.
4 kids, all
Yeah.
under the age of 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So that way everybody knows you're either Catholic or Mormon.
Yeah. Mormon. Yeah.
We already covered Cole's on his mission for the
Yeah,
church, so
right.
definitely Mormon. And I mean that right there is a lot.
Right. Oh
to
gosh,
handle.
yes.
You also talked a little bit about the financial stress that comes with 4 kids and the normal things everybody deals with, especially as a young family, living paycheck to paycheck, spending more money than what you make.
Oh gosh, yep.
And then you decide you want to do this. And this is not a small thing. And so you guys take out a $60,000 line of credit on
Yep.
your home. You buy 3 F1s.
Yep.
You buy them from a breeder that everybody else in the country hates for some reason.
Yep.
So the community shuns you, refuses to help.
Yep.
2 of those cats can't breed, and do they die?
No, one of them had no ovaries. Like she just.
I don't have any either.
Yeah. So, and the other one had fertility issues. Like it was like a boy girl. Like he had both parts.
Oh.
Which was very weird too. Like both of them were
Hermaphrodites.
very unique. Yeah, it was of her. Basically, it had both male and female parts.
All
yeah.
right.
So neither of those 2 worked, and so yeah, I only ended up with 1 cat that worked.
Okay. And so how did you overcome that? Well, actually, did I mean, you just blew 60 grand, you're 60,000 more in debt.
Right.
Did you want to quit? Did you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I was put on a blacklist for people not to sell to me because I had purchased from this particular breeder that they didn't like. And so they're like, well, don't sell to her because she's now supporting the other breeder. Plus, they also didn't like the fact that I came in buying all these F1s when a lot of these breeders had been breeding, 15 years and only had like an F2 or an F6. They couldn't afford an F1.
Oh, okay.
So everybody's aspiring to get an F1 because they're the coolest ones, right?
Oh, okay. So the fact you bought 3 out of the gate
Yeah.
immediately, made you like the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, and everyone thought I was dumb because I didn't know what I was doing, and that I should not start with F1s because they're more complicated, and I should start with F6s because they're easier. All the reasonings behind it, and there is some truth to that, though.
No. But don't you think that that's absolutely completely wrong?
Yes.
Because think about all the people that started the F6s and how many of them by that point had even gotten to the F1s, right?
Yeah, they're still stuck.
They're stuck, right? Because as you said earlier, there's a huge difference between an F1 and even an F2.
Oh yeah, there's a big difference.
So think about the difference between an F1 and F6. If you start off with the F6s, you might never get capable of an F1, whereas you just start with the F1.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Does that make any sense? Am I on the right track there?
Well, and for me, I wanted a cheetah. So having an F1 was the closest thing to the cheetah because I couldn't even own a serval where I lived. And so having an F1 was like a dream come true for me. And so that's what I wanted to work with. I wanted to work with the more exotics, and to have an F6 was more domestic, and that didn't excite me like the F1s excited me.
Gotcha.
And so that's why I went for the F1s, because they were just cooler in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so, so yeah, it was really scary because from the get-go, I had no support in the community. People hated me because I was a competitor now, and I was a threat to their business too, because now I'm a new breeder, and you know, that sort of thing. And then, I, you know, didn't have cats that I thought were going to work for me, and so. Yeah, it was very deflating.
Well, and then the neighborhood you lived in, didn't they turn on you too?
Yeah, I actually got kicked out of my neighborhood. So that was that was so scary in and of itself. Like at the time, I remember one afternoon we got a knock at the door, and it was a police officer. And it was obviously a scary feeling to have somebody at your door. And he was thankfully super nice gentleman. He just said, hey, I had to come by. I had a phone call from one of your neighbors. I had to come check it out, and apparently a neighbor had called about my cats and said that I had some exotic tigers or something going on in my house.
Exotic tigers.
Yeah.
I think any tiger would be exotic.
Yeah, no, I know. And so
a non-exotic tiger.
Right.
Yeah.
So he came to check it out.
Okay.
And so
and these are the F1s, right?
Yeah, I had some F1s. Yeah.
So that's what people were freaking out about, was the F1s. Not even like now where you have an actual two full-blown servals.
Right. Correct. Yeah. So yeah, these were just the F1s, and so my house backed up to some, like, I don't know, not retirement home houses, but like maintenance-free villas.
Okay.
So there were some older people that had smaller dogs, and they were
that
afraid.
had to help lower your food costs, right?
That was their fear. Their fear was that if my cats got out, it would eat their dogs. And I was like, trust me, it's not like that. But again, what you don't know, you fear.
Yeah,
and, instead of just asking me questions, they just
coming over to talk to you.
Right. They just were not very kind and called the cops on me instead. Yeah. And the only reason they knew about these animals in the first place is because I had my Facebook profile that's public to anybody who wants to see, and I was always posting videos with my kids playing with the cats, and so they're starting to worry because they're seeing me add more and more cats to my house, you know. So the cop came, he took a look at the cats, and he's like, hey, you know, they look great, I just had to show up and, you know, I'm here type thing. And anyway, then he kind of left. Well, a few weeks later, a month or two later, I don't know how long, not much longer, he got another phone call from another neighbor. He shows back up, and then this time he gave me like a fix-it ticket. Okay. And basically what happened, what happens, and I wasn't even aware of this law, but apparently in Johnson County, you're not allowed to have more than 3 cats or 4 cats or 4 dogs.
There's a limit to the number of pets you can have.
Per household, yep.
Yes.
And I'm like, who knows that? Like, where do they explain that to you? Like, I had no idea. I mean, there was definitely several neighbors down the street with like 3 cats and 2 dogs, you know, things like that, and they were already over the limit, but they were just, you know, house pets. But anyway, so he told me basically.
I have Puerto Rican neighbors, and they're over the limit on people, I guarantee you.
Yeah, probably too. So
you don't need to edit that out.
So basically, so at the time I had 6 cats.
Okay.
And
so
you're
supposed to be down to 3 or 4.
Yeah, and I needed to get down to 4.
Okay.
And of course, I wasn't going to sell my cats. And so basically, I asked the officer, I'm like, well, what are my options? He's like, well, you either need to get rid of 2 cats or move, or the third option was to petition for a conditional use permit.
Yes, and you did that, right?
Well, after finding out how much work is involved with this, we decided that we were going to move.
Less work to move.
It was less work to move than try to get this special permit.
That's about the most government-ass shit I've heard.
I know. So
petition my city to get a permit. Build a brand new home and move. Right. I'm going to go to the thing that's less work. I'm going to move.
Right. So we do this, and we search all over the place. We find a house that's mediocre, but it had like 3 acres, not too far away, because I didn't want to move away from our family, because the thing that was sad is my sister and my parents and I, all 3 of our families built houses, just a few houses apart in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I remember that. You guys
and we had this cute little community, and the kids grew up with cousins and grandma and grandpa, and so we loved it there. And so we didn't want to move far, so we found a place in Lenexa. The house was old. I felt like I was downsizing, and I was just felt in a rush because we couldn't really find what we were looking for, but we had to get out because the city was like, you have to be out by this time or you're I don't know what they would have done, but anyway.
Well, and technically, you still live in the same city, right?
Well, no, I was moving. Yeah, I'm still in the same county, but
Same county. I think
but
you lived in
different.
Olathe.
But I was in Lenexa. So we were in Olathe, but I found a house in Lenexa. So there's more story to this.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even know if you know this whole part of the story.
Okay, I must not.
Yeah, there's two parts. Three parts to the story. So, so basically, we pack our house up. This is December, Christmas time. We pack our house up. Everything's ready to move. The loan's all, in place,
Yep.
and we have our house. Thankfully, I didn't sell it, but I decided we were going to rent our house to a family in Texas who was moving up. All that was set up with the deposits, good to go. 2 days before we were supposed to move, the bank calls us back and says, "Oh, we're not going to use your husband's bonuses as income, so now you don't qualify for the loan."
What?
So this is 3 weeks before Christmas. Our house is completely packed up. We're ready to move, and no place to go now because they're like, "Sorry, you're not doing that."
They just completely changed terms on it.
Yes, change the terms. So we were like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So I felt so much despair because now we're thinking, now the city's probably like, "Well, what the heck? What have they been doing this whole time?" Like, we really had it all ready to move.
Yeah.
So at this point, because we've already exhausted all our resources trying to figure out a place to live, at this point we had no other option but to try to file for that special use permit, which is what we were trying to avoid in the first place, just to buy us some time. And so when I went to the city to do this, it was seriously terrifying. Like, I had neighbors show up to that public hearing with like pitchforks. I mean, not literally, but that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And like people who I thought were my friends, because again, I was a professional photographer that I started my own business doing that, where I had done family pictures with a lot of these people and their families and people who
showing up to protest.
And they're showing up to protest against me. And they're making up lies saying that my cats had attacked their dogs when I would go on walks.
No way.
And I'm like, dude, my cats have never been off leashes and they would never attack another cat or another dog for that matter.
Yeah.
They're making up lies. And they pulled this one guy, I don't even remember his name, but he was new to the neighborhood, had only lived in the neighborhood 2 months. And he got up on the public hearing. He's like, "Hi, my name is so-and-so. I'm here because my neighbors told me that this lady has cats and I don't like them. I don't really know what's going on."
I told this lady has cats and I don't like them.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that ain't the mo-
I know.
All right.
And I'm like,
I don't like them.
yeah, and he just shows up and he doesn't even know what he's there for.
Can't beat that logic.
I know, and I'm like thinking, wow, like where? And then this other guy gets up there and he's like, "Her cats are gonna get out and they're gonna ruin the ecosystem because they're gonna breed with random cats and they're gonna ruin the ecosystem." I mean, there was probably 11 different neighbors that showed up to this public hearing, and I was so embarrassed for the fact that all these people were hating on me, and I had no idea. Like, here I am driving through my neighborhood thinking I'm friends with everybody, and they all are hating on me, and I'm like, what the heck? It was such a horrible feeling. So,
Did you did that make you like? Was it just like it's a horrible feeling, or was it like there was like that was difficult to deal with on
all of it?
Was
all of it
really weighed on you?
Yeah, it did, and especially because like I said, at least like half of them were from people that I knew. Some of them were from the HOA board that like had to come in and do their thing.
Yeah.
And then some of them were just people that I actually like went to the pool with and hung out with at the pool, and our kids were friends. And I'm like, where's this even coming from? Why wouldn't you come and confront me first and ask me questions about them? Like it was very immature. So anyway, when I went to this public hearing, typically when you do public hearings like that, the permits are usually for 5 years, at least in the city. They're for 5 years as a standard. And what I asked for, as I was like, hey, I don't want 5 years for this permit.
Yeah, you just need time.
Yeah, I'm just asking for 12 months, enough time to find a house where I'm not feeling rushed, like I'm just getting something just because I have to. And because of the pressure that they all felt from all these neighbors, because again, some of these people have paid positions in the county. They want their votes for these other people too.
Yeah.
So to make everything fair, they decided to like split it in half and give me a 6-month permit.
No way. They went from a 5-year permit to 6 months.
To a 6-month permit. And it cost me like $600 just to apply for this permit.
Jeez.
And my time and energy like to go through the whole process. And 6 months is still not a lot of time to find a house.
No, it's not.
Oh, so it was so incredibly stressful. Enough stress that part of me was like, okay, I'm done. But that the other half of me was like, you know what? I'm not a quitter. I don't quit when things get tough. I just find a way to help and make it work. And so we just kept driving around, looking on Zillow, trying to find land, because ultimately we wanted land and we wanted to build.
Yeah.
nothing was available, and everything that was available was like really far out in like DeSoto or Gardner, or at least like 30, 40 minutes away. And I couldn't have that either because I wanted to stay close to family, because my kids were really close to the cousins and grandparents, and for me it's more about convenience to be close. And so anyway, I just remember one particular day we were driving around and we had found this land that was for sale originally like a year ago, but it was for 40 acres and it was like $400,000, which one, we didn't want 40 acres, and two, we didn't have $400,000 to buy the land and put a house on it.
Yeah, you still got to put a house on it.
Yeah, so, but
right,
yeah.
kids, we're moving into a mobile home.
Exactly.
But we got 40 acres.
Exactly. So then, you know, everything, you know, looking back on everything, it was definitely the Lord's hand, and his timing was everything in all this. Because what had happened is my neighbor now, his name is Joel, he had bought that land under a foreclosure and then divided 2 10-acre lots up front.
Oh, sweet.
And kept 50 acres for himself, and then made 2 10-acre lots. And literally, my husband and I were driving around, looking at places, praying for answers. And like, he was literally painting the sign that he was putting up himself for sale by owner,
no
the
way.
land, when we pulled up. And because it was like the place we wanted to be in the first place again.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute, what? And so he's like, yeah. And anyway, it was just, it never even hit the market because he never even posted it. He was just posting, you know, painting the sign himself. And so we snuck the land, stole it out from underneath him pretty much compared to what everything else was being sold for. And then we didn't really have still the money because we were still in debt from our other house and the loan. So we had borrowed a little bit of money from Mike's parents, my husband's parents, to at least get enough for a 20% down payment to build a house on top of the land. And so that's why, like, my house that I have now is not my dream home. It's what we could afford at the time, and it's still a very nice home, but it's what we could afford when we were building.
Yeah, and you've been doing a good job, because I've watched you over the years. Like, you initially started off with like a house. Mm-hmm. Then I think the second thing you did was the cattery.
Build the cat house.
Is that what you call it? The cat house?
Well, the cat house is it, but it is a cattery, yes.
Yeah, so Lathan actually has 3 cat houses. Tango's, the other strip club, and then your cat house.
The cat house.
So, so you, and then I think you did the Mike's garage where he keeps his the Supras.
Yeah.
Right. And
then
then last summer you did that's one hell of a cabana.
I know, I love it so much. Yes.
So, I mean, I've definitely watched over the years as you've built it into something pretty amazing.
Thank you. Yes.
So through all of this, what's it been like in regards to your marriage?
That's a great question. In regards to my marriage, well, first of all, having a supportive spouse is everything, because if it wasn't for him, like, supporting me in this, there's no way I would have survived, because he helped. He's also the one that, like, if I have confrontations with, say, a buyer that was upset about XYZ, he is really good about helping me see both sides of the story and understand where they might be coming from versus just how I feel in a situation. And in a business like mine, it's very emotional because people are dealing with live animals.
Yeah.
So he's very helpful in keeping me grounded, but he's also just helpful in just being, like, loving and supportive even when things don't go well, like where we had to get kicked out of the home we built. We built the house that we were in and we were kicked out. Like, he could have been like, enough is enough, sell the cats, let's stay here.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't. He just said, all right, let's find a place to live, let's do this. And so I think, if anything, it's helped us grow closer together because we support each other.
Yeah, you guys told me a story once that I thought was really, really cool. And I think he said it was about 10 years into the marriage, and I hope you don't mind me, and we can edit this out if you do.
It's okay.
But he was talking about how if you were upset, he didn't always know how to handle it, right?
Yeah.
And then one time he decided just to try something that I thought was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And that was just to, like, come over, grab you, tell you, now say that again, but in a goofy voice, right?
He would take his arms, wrap around me really tight, and then he'd say it with a smile. Say it with a smile. So here I am trying to lecture either him or the kids or just be irritated about whatever I'm upset about. And instead of letting me vent, he would hug me and not let me go until I said it with a smile. And it just turned into this laughing matter, because you can't be mad and smile at the same time. It's physically impossible. So then I would try to be like, I'm so mad right now, but you can't do it. You can't say it and frown at the same time. So he learned to for sure, like, calm me, because I am a spicy person and I am one that likes to get my way and, call the shots. And sometimes I can be a pistol. Side note, that's the elementary school I
Did
went
you
to.
two figure that out previous to the cats?
Oh, no.
No. So that came in the course of the journey of the, because I just imagine from what you've described so far, I just feel like you guys are living a very high stress career.
It can be very much so, yeah.
Right. I mean, to have you mentioned a litter where you lost every one of the F1s.
Yep.
How many babies were born?
5.
5. And
Yeah.
I know what F1s go for.
Right.
So there's a minimum of $100,000 gone.
Right.
Minimum.
Right.
It's like not very many people can take a $100,000 hit and not experience a lot of stress around that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and then on top of it, be sleep deprived. So you've add the taxation of a physical exhaustion along with an emotional
Well, because
turmoil.
as you talked about, like leading up to that birth, you guys are up every hour.
Watching cameras.
Watching these cats. You're emotionally invested in the outcome.
Right.
You just take a $100,000 loss. I can imagine a lot of relationships, the man and the woman having, like, that not being good for them.
Right.
So
you know what? We've never actually had, like, if anything, like, I don't know. So Mike is a unique person where he is always happy. I don't know how he does it. And I sometimes ask him if he's fake, because I'm like, how can you always be so happy?
He's not fake at all.
Yeah. I'm like, how are you real? Because he's like, when things are sad like that and they don't go well, he always has a positive look on it. And he'll I don't know, say something to encourage me to keep going, because he knows for me, it's very emotional. Like, my emotions get more tied up in it, whereas he's more of just a matter of fact, like, okay, I didn't get sleep, but I'm okay. For me, it's emotionally, I lost lives.
Yeah.
And for me, it's more heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
For him, it's just more, he's not as invested emotionally as I get with the cats. And so he just does a really good job of keeping me grounded and showing me extra love when I need it.
That's incredible.
It's made all the difference for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So jumping back to the whole, did you go through any kind of like periods of depression due to like finding out that all your neighbors hated you and you didn't know people that you thought that you'd done? Did you have to work your way out of that? Did it just time solve it? Did you light their houses on fire to get back at them?
Yeah. I mean, whenever I would drive through my neighborhood to come to the house, I literally felt like I needed to like hide under my arm and just shield myself.
So people can see you in your car?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want people to see me. Like, I'm embarrassed here because I didn't know so many people like were hating on me, and they were not just afraid of like their animals getting hurt, but they were saying, oh, I'm setting a bad precedence for the neighborhood and the value of their homes are going to go down. I mean, all this stuff. I'm not making it up. No. Like, it's crazy. So anyway, it was
Did you stand there and be like, it's not like I adopted a black cat. We're talking about a cat. Jeez.
Exactly. And so, anyway, it's one of those things.
They claimed you were going to ruin the property value?
Yes, they really said that. They said it was going to ruin the property values.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, they came up with all kinds of stuff. So, but I ended up so get this. We bought the land. We started to build our house. Halfway through the house, where we are now, I go to the county and now I'm still in Johnson County, but now I'm in the outskirts. So I'm in the rural. So it's a different court system because it's not part of the city. It's part of the country.
Yeah.
But you do the same sort of process. So I go there to try to get a conditional use permit to own a serval. And when I called the county and talked to the guy, he was like, I've been with the county 26 years. I've never issued an exotic cat permit. I don't see that happening. And I was like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not going to say yes and I'm not going to say no, but I'm going to say probably not. And I was like, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. And then And then as we chatted, because I called back multiple times because of course I wasn't going to take no for an answer.
Of course not. I mean, if there's a process,
yeah,
don't say no.
right.
Let's go through your process.
Right. Let's go through the process.
Right.
And education is key on everything because I think 99% of the people that I worked with had never heard of a serval or Savannahs or knew nothing about them. And they automatically assume I'm talking about a cheetah or a tiger.
Yes.
You know, and those are huge cats.
Yeah.
You know, servals are class 2 wildlife. So they're very small in comparison to class 1 wildlife.
Okay. So class 1's like a Bengal, like a full-blown
like
tiger.
a full tiger, lions, cheetahs.
Yeah. The thing that ate
pumas.
the magic guy in Vegas.
Yeah, yes.
But so class 2 is?
Class 2 is different because it's a smaller class of wildlife. Yeah. And so.
Because I really want to get some crocodiles to put in my pond out back.
Oh my gosh.
I just think that'd be entertaining.
Do not do that. They'll eat your dogs.
Is that class 1 or class 2?
They will eat your dogs. Don't do it. So anyway, so as I'm talking to this guy over the course of a few weeks, trying to gather information on how to even still try to do this process, even though he's telling me no, I'm still trying to do it. Come to find out that I can't even have my cats out in the country.
What?
Yes, because that same stupid law applies to out in the country on 10 acres. I couldn't have more than 3 cats or 4 cats or 4 dogs out there.
How is that possible?
That's what I said. And then my dreams started to feel like they were getting crushed. I'm like, there is no way God would have guided us to this land and build a house and have all this, you know, come to this stage for me not to be able to fulfill this.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I'm violating, well, luckily for me, I'm exempt. But if my property wasn't 501c3 registered with the Department of Parks and Wildlife, we'd be over violation because we have 5 dogs.
Oh, you do? Yeah. And are you still in
2
Johnson
cats
County?
yeah, we're in Johnson County.
Yeah.
But I'm exempt from all ordinances.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
cool.
without
But
that.
so many people don't know. They don't know.
I didn't know.
Right.
You think you're on 10 acres?
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Yeah,
right?
that's the whole point of living out.
That's exactly
10
what
acres.
I thought. Exactly. So then I ended up finding out that at least I could keep the cats by filing for a personal kennels license.
Okay.
So then I at least could have the cats, my current Savannahs, because at this point, I'm up to like 18 cats. I have a lot at this point.
You're not going down to 3.
No, I'm not going down to 3 or 4. Yeah. Because we had, in the meantime, had moved into Mike's parents' house, who has 40 acres, and we had moved the cats over there while we were building.
Now, when you say house, we wouldn't really refer to that as a house.
I know, it's like a mansion.
It's not like a mansion.
Yeah.
We're talking Canadian massive log cabin home.
Yes. It was very
That place is
comfortable.
nuts.
Yeah, it was very comfortable.
Yeah,
So
very
we had the whole basement, which
was
5,000 square feet just in the basement. Yeah, and they were gone 90% of the time on vacation anyways.
Of course.
So yeah, so we were able to live in their house for about 10, 11 months while our house was being built.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I either was purchasing other cats or holding back my own just to grow my program a little bit more. So I needed to have this permit for sure. So at least I knew I could get my personal kennel license, at least to keep the cats that I currently had. But then I'd have to have a special permit to have the serval if I wanted that, which the guy, again, said he didn't think was going to happen. And I ended up basically, I hate using the word fighting, but I kind of fought the county for 5 months to get that permit because everybody was against me. No, like not necessarily neighbors, but the county itself did not want me to have it because they had never issued an exotic cat permit to any like normal person other than like a zoo or something like that. Because what they don't know, they fear, and it's easier to say no.
Yeah.
So basically it came down to like education. And what I had done, what I had learned from my last public hearing in my regular residential neighborhood is I knew that in this process they send out certified letters to all your neighbors in 1,000 feet inviting them to come to the public hearing.
Oh.
So they're telling them what you're applying for so that they have the right to show up and protest against it. So what Mike and I did, along with our 4 kids, is we knocked on every single neighbor's door prior to I introduced ourselves, said that we're the new family building a house across the street.
Yep.
We breeded these cats. We wanted to introduce ourselves. If you have questions, let us know. You can come to our home and see them. Just be able to talk to the people ahead of time. And like all of the people were like, dude, that's sick. And we can't wait to see them. But there's this one house that we went to 3 times. They never answered the door. And guess who showed up to
Oh,
that public
those
hearing?
people.
That house. And he was a very older gentleman, double hearing aid, couldn't hear a word of what the board was asking him. And he was like screaming like all this stuff over the pulpit, like saying, the cats are going to eat my cows. The cattle's, yeah, he thought their cats were going to eat the cows. He's like, the cats are going to get the barn. They're going to pee all over their food. Because he already was having a problem with, I guess, some stray
Wild
cats.
Yeah.
And he was afraid that my giant cats were going to eat the babies.
Yeah, you're like, buddy, these are $20,000 cats. Ain't nobody letting
no
them
one's getting
roam
out.
free.
Exactly. But again, we didn't get a chance to educate him. And he also couldn't hear what we were talking about because it was very evident based on his responses that he couldn't even hear what they were asking him.
Yeah.
So it was really challenging because, again, they want, if there's one person that protests, they
go with that one.
They kind of go with that one because they want to make sure everybody's happy. So the board voted against me, but
no way.
But it goes then to the Board of County Commissioners, which is the next month, and they have a final say based on the recommendation of the planning, the first public hearing. So there's two parts to the public hearing. And thankfully, when we got to that portion, again, I had chatted with a neighbor who had showed up, but it was still kind of a dicey thing because there was another neighbor that had brought somebody else that hadn't showed up the first time. Anyway, to make a long story short, Mike Brown, he was the county commissioner involved. That was over my jurisdiction based on where I live. Super nice guy. I had never met him before, didn't know anything about him. And you could tell he had a big heart and that he wanted to help me.
Yeah.
And so he voted not to vote, which meant it kicks me back into the process again without having to redo it.
Oh, okay.
And he came and talked to me and he said, hey, look, I need you to go talk to these two people that showed up, help educate them, help them understand what you're doing, which is what I tried to do in the first place, but I could never get a hold of them.
Yeah.
And then he says, let's try again next month type thing. So then I went through the process again. And at least when they came through the second public hearing, he didn't show up that time. And then, because we went to the home and brought a cat so he could see a cat.
Okay.
And then he was like, okay, I guess you're right. It's not that scary.
It's not eating your cow.
They're not eating the cows.
They love a steak.
So they felt okay that, and I'm like, they're not getting out. Trust me. Like, and my cats have never gotten out. Like,
Yeah.
So, but it took a long time to finally get that. And then on top of that, normally they do conditional use permits for 10 years in the country. But because it was the first time ever and they wanted to make sure that there was no hiccups or scary things happening, they gave me a 3-year permit to make sure that everything went smooth and I did what I said I was going to do as far as build the cat house the way I said, take care of the animals the way I said, and all that stuff, which I did. And so when the 3 years was up, there was no complaints, no cats got out, nobody got hurt, people were excited about it. And so then I had to reapply again, but it was a little bit, it was more.
Give you a 10-year this next time?
Yeah, and in fact, just recently I did another public hearing because my first permit only allowed me to own one serval and I wanted to add another. So I had to go through the process all over again to add a second serval. And it cost me $900 every time, along with the time that you have to take to fill out these applications and submit your housing and your layout and the format and like all the stuff the county requires you to do. It's like a lot of process too. And you have to submit a narrative with pictures and like all this. I mean, it's like building a house, like that type of permits. It's ridiculous the amount of work that you have to go through. And so, so I did that, but this time it was so cool because I had the board like batting for me. They're like, I was only asking another 10 years because that's what was normal. They're like, well, if these cats live to 20, let's give her 20 years. Like they were actually, like,
awesome.
And they're like, you know what? I drive by your house all the time. They're like, I love how well you take care of your house and your cat house is beautiful and your cats are wonderful. Like, I wish all citizens were like you, like I did what I said I was going to do and better,
Yeah.
And so they were like all there batting for me. And I'm like, that was so beautiful. It made me feel good that I was honorable with what I said I was going to do and that they recognized that and they liked that and wanted to reward me by giving me more time as well. And it was just great. Yeah. So then I got to get Zwazi.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I really like about that is that you have a story about dealing with government bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That doesn't end with you wanting to firebomb them.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was great. And now
That's
I'm
good.
like friends with a lot of them because in fact, after my first public hearing with working with Mike Brown, I actually joined they asked me to be part of the board of county, not the county commissioners, but the part of the public hearing when you have like the staff that
Yeah.
goes up there and votes against
Yeah.
all these things. So for like 3 years or 4 years, I was on that board. So I approved other people's personal conditional
Yeah.
use permits and stuff for a long time. So
Did you get a chance to shoot down any of your neighbors that were trying to do things in your old neighborhood?
No.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Well, and I think what Mike wanted me to do is to have a fresher face so that we could approve more, because the whole
Yeah.
point of it was to approve things so people could do what they want
Well, yeah.
and stuff.
Like your
you know?
job's not to stop us all from doing
Right.
things. It's to help us do it in a way that's good for the community.
Right.
But I feel like bureaucrats quite often think their job's just to say no to everything.
Exactly.
So, all right, awesome. Well, let's go get some ice cream, then
Yeah.
we'll finish the rest of this conversation on the way home.
Okay.
All right, so we got about 10 more minutes on the way back to the cat house, the cattery.
Yep.
And so going through this experience, has this like led any of your children to want to be veterinarians or work with animals, or is it like one of those things where they're like, hell no, I'm not, I don't want to see another cat for as long as I live?
Yeah, I think with Sadie, my third child, she's an animal lover like myself, so it's in her DNA where she wants to do something like this. She, I think, wanted to be a vet forever. Same with me. I think with Cole, Kaylee, and Lacey, the others, they love the animals and they have fun playing with it, but it's not their passion.
Gotcha.
Right? So I think the biggest takeaway is find something that you're passionate about and go for it. And it could be anything, like, you know, whether it's cars or computers or making crafts, you know, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, I had a cat client that has made buku bucks on his 3D printing hilariously old school VHS like magnets. So he basically takes an old VHS cover,
Okay.
shrinks it down, and makes a refrigerator magnet and sells them for $6 a piece. And
Oh.
he's made boatload of money.
Yeah.
So it's like anything, and he sells them on Etsy. And they're really cool. They actually look really cool. But anyway, like he's bought 2 HP F1s for me. But the biggest thing is find something that you love and you're passionate about, because 1,000,000% you will find obstacles. They find you, whether you're looking for them or not. And if you're not passionate about it, you will fall and you will stay down. But if you are passionate about it, you're going to find a way to get back up and overcome those obstacles, because that's just part of life. You know, it's like the diamond. How are diamonds made? Through pressure and lots of obstacles that
Yeah.
make them beautiful. And so,
Well, and you went up against what I view as one of the biggest obstacles there is, and that's the false constructs society creates through bureaucratic governments.
right.
And somehow it's just amazing to me that you went up against that
Yeah.
and won. And
Right.
I mean winning in a really positive way,
Yeah.
where it was like there's a whole bunch of bureaucrats that are actually on your side rooting for you at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a long ways to go from 11
Being
years
scared.
ago. And,
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I think sticking to your word and doing what you say you're going to do is also key, because I told the county what I was going to do and I did it and I stuck with it, and they were impressed that, like, not only did I do it, but like the neighbors were excited about it. They came and saw it and they're like, okay, this is a really cool operation. It's better than we expected it to be, you know?
Yeah.
And so sticking to the plan, or better than the plan, makes a difference.
Oh, no, but I mean, it's everything, right? So one of my favorite sayings comes from this thing called the landmark form, and it's that integrity is the necessary and sufficient for workability,
Oh, yeah.
right? And what I love about that is it says it's necessary, so integrity has to be there,
Yeah.
and it's sufficient. You don't have to like me.
Yeah.
You don't have to like what I'm doing.
Right.
But if I have integrity, that's sufficient.
Yes.
Like, you know, we can work this out.
Yes.
And so, did you find in your industry a high level of integrity? Do you think you're an anomaly?
Well,
Is that a bad question to ask where I'm getting you to talk? throw shade on, other people in your industry?
I mean, there are people that are shady. I mean, there's lots of scammers, for one, that don't even have cats that are selling the cats, as something real. But there are other breeders that I'm not like friends with that will sell a certain generation, like sell an F1 or sell an F2 as an F1. So they're not exactly selling what they say they are. So there are definitely, I mean, I'd say that those people are fewer because if you're part of, like, say, Facebook, or mostly Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you're part of the community. So those scammers don't last super long because everybody comes together and like, okay, we know that this person is a scammer because they're using your photos. That sort of thing. Is they kind of get called out really quick if you're on a Facebook group. So, but if you were just on Google, there's no way to go around that. Anybody could get taken on that because you don't have that protection.
Can we talk about one of the things you talked about off camera, where you talked about in the beginning, like, people lied to you? Mm-hmm. Like the people that you were looking for in your industry to help you.
Right.
Right. So that's one of the things that I find really interesting, right?
Yeah.
I think one of the problems that a lot of small business owners have is they view competition as bad.
Right.
When in reality, where do restaurants want to be? They don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere away from other restaurants.
Right.
They want to be near other restaurants. Where do gas stations go? On the corner across from 3 other gas stations.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so I think it's interesting that a lot of times small business owners, they think for me to help you come up, somehow that's going to take away from me. Right. I've never found it to do that. I don't care how niched you are. I don't care how rare what you sell is. Mm-hmm. And there's endless examples of this. One of my favorites is if you have a Coke vending machine at your office and it's by itself, and then you put a Pepsi vending machine next to it. Yeah. You know what happens to the number of sales of the Coke product?
They go up?
It goes up.
Because there's competition.
Well, that in your mind, and there's lots of reasons this happens in numerous industries. In this particular case, it's because your mind goes from do I want a soda to which soda do I want? Mm-hmm. And that psychological change increases
the purchases.
The purchases, right?
Yeah.
There's just numerous examples of people that thought there's a limited number of market share for something, but as popularity gains, more people want one. Right. So you coming into the market probably didn't take sales away from other people selling Savannahs.
Yeah.
The more people hear about Savannahs, the more other people want them. So I feel like your story of when you were getting started and some of the challenges you ran into with people within your own industry kind of just highlight that mentality.
Very much so.
Is this
That's Matt Walker's
house.
Yeah.
Yes. That's okay. I knew you lived somewhere around here.
Yep. Just right there.
Yeah. So what if you had to do it all over again? I'm assuming you'd still do it, right?
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. How are you going to get out of it?
How am I going to get out of it?
How are you going to get out of it?
Oh, that is a tough question.
What's your exit plan? Are you do you ever just sit here and think, my goodness, this is just too much work and I wish I could go on vacation and not worry the whole time?
Yes. We talk about it a lot. Just because it is exhausting and it is a lot of work.
Because as far as I can imagine, you pretty much got 2 options. Mm-hmm. Well, 3. Status quo.
Yeah.
Quit. Mm-hmm. Or try and scale big enough to have employees, but then your overhead skyrockets. Right. And the number of problems you're going to deal with skyrocket.
Right. Yeah, I figured that we do have some money wrapped up in some other investments that we're hoping will do well enough to give us, more of a dividend.
Then here's $1 million question for you.
Yeah.
So if one of those investments hit and you were
set for life,
whatever that number may be.
Yeah.
Would you still do what you're doing?
I would, on a smaller scale.
Oh, okay.
I would just scale back to having maybe 5 cats instead of 20.
Gotcha.
And then just do a couple litters a year. Because honestly, I do love the animals, and I love working with the babies and nurturing them. Like, I've always loved helping the helpless, which is why I feel like I'm such an animal lover, because animals are helpless. And so, like, I feel like I would still want to do it because I would miss it. I would miss being needed. I like being needed in that regard.
Right.
And of course, I'm a mother, so I'm still needed. But my kids, they're teenagers. They don't need me. They can take care of themselves.
They barely like us some days.
Actually, my kids are great. They like to hang out with us.
That's
like,
awesome.
they love us, and so we hang out all the time. But like, my kids aren't helpless, so
No.
they don't need me, like, in that regard.
Yeah.
But the animals, they need me, and so I like being relied on in that regard.
Yeah.
But so I guess that, again, it's part of my DNA, part of my passion, so it works for me. My husband, he said if something ever happened to me, he's like, I'd sell all the cats and keep 2 and just keep them as a pet. Like, that wouldn't be his gig, because he's not passionate about it like I am, you know. So
Speaking of him, does helping you, does that give him purpose?
Oh, for sure.
Ada, is there something else he does with his time to? I mean, I know he works on his cars, and he was showing me a cutting board he's making.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. He's got a nice little wood workshop going out there. But it just seems amazing to me that you're able to find a guy who was able to go from his own career, so to speak,
Right.
to supporting you in yours.
Yeah.
In every way imaginable, it sounds like.
Yes.
And like you said, he's always happy.
Always happy. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. I'm not complaining. It's just very unique to find somebody that's always happy.
Yes.
And he tells me it's a choice. And honestly, supposedly it is a choice, and I do agree that it is a choice, but he doesn't let outside factors influence him, whereas normal people do. Like, if you cut me off, I'm going to be irritated. You know, like, he's just going to be like, he'll make a joke of it and be like, oh, he's got to go to the bathroom, so he's in a hurry. You know, like, he'll just make a joke of it. So he has a gift of turning things into a positive. Oh, there's one of my helpers.
Yeah.
/ Kaylee and Sadie. And
all right. Well, before we jump out and say hi to your kids, I just want to thank you.
Yeah.
And I think we got some incredible footage today. Went way longer probably than what you expected.
Oh,
We're
it's
almost
okay.
at 4 hours.
Wow.
But this might be 2 episodes or one really long one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just been amazing to hear about your journey over the last 11 years.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for support with the I Am Foundation.
Yes.
And one day we need to work out to where we can bring the kids out here.
Yeah, that would be
and
fun.
let them see this. I think they would go bananas.
Yeah.
So if you'd be open to that, I'd love to set that
Absolutely.
up. All right, awesome. All right,
Yeah.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, of course, of course.
Well,
You could get a
oh,
bit.
look at that. That was fast.
Names get remembered in this city for a reason. What you said in that seat, it's part of yours now. And whether they get it or not, Casey heard you. Backseat Ballers, where the ones who built it finally speak.